You are not audible, sir. You are not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, good afternoon to the coordinators and special guest, keynote speaker, chairperson, everyone. I'm requesting Dr. Swataswini Gogoi, ma'am, to welcome the everyone, each and everyone, ma'am. Please over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson of the valedictory function, Professor C. Nongri ma'am, Dean School of Education, NEHU, Shillong, India. Professor ASSAM Sungo ma'am, former Dean School of Education, NEHU, Shillong, India. Professor Ibadani CM ma'am, Head of the Department, NEHU, Shillong. Today's guest of honor, Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir, Honorary Director, ICSSR-NERC, NEHU, Shillong. Professor Sanjeev Sonewade sir, Honorable Director, School of Education, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Pune. Professor Brinda Bijli ma'am, Department of Education, NEHU, Shillong, India. Professor Mitali Kaur, Principal Moran College.
Not audible.
Voice is not coming.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Okay.
No,
Amar, I can hear her.
it's audible.
Amar, I can hear her.
Yeah.
Okay. May I continue, sir?
No, you are not
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Okay, I think I will handle. Okay.
May I continue, sir?
I mean, you are not able to audible.
Okay.
Program and person and report of the program. Yes. One
Yes,
month back, I approved. Good afternoon to one and all. And today, chairperson, Dean of Education, and guest of honor, Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir, Honorary Director, ICSSR, NEHU, Shillong, and special guest, Dr. S.M. Sungo ma'am, former Dean of Education and Senior Person, Department of Education. Ibadani CM ma'am, Head, Department of Education, and Dr. Sanjeev Sonewade sir, today's special guest and chief guest. Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Honorary Director of School of Education, Pune, and one and all, Professor Mawan Sarvita, President, Northeastern Delhi University Teachers Association, Professor Mitali Kaur, Principal, MORAN College, and each and every one of those who are attended here, senior teacher of department, Professor Brinda ma'am, and other teachers, and local participants. Welcome, warm welcome to one and all on the last day, special day of our 21-day international workshop from faculty development program on innovative techniques for professional development of teachers in higher education. 1 month back, I was talking during morning time. I interacted with Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir. I want to do something for our NEHU and academia. So actually, we planned for a few days, 3 days, 4 days, like that. But I convinced sir readily accepted, never said no. Even morning program, international workshop also, I interacted 3 days back, 21st September, International Day of Peace. We want to celebrate. Education Department, I'm getting full support from our HOD, Dean, Senior Teacher. Without their support, it is impossible to do. So I can say proudly, Education Department is the role model for all the departments, not only in NEHU, in other parts of India also. Because I'm telling with honestly and proudly to openly, the way I'm getting full support, cooperation, it's impossible and I cannot predict also and measurable also. There is no research tool to predict the cooperation what I'm getting. Professional development is a continuous process. I learned many things from Professor Sungo ma'am by observing her since my joining. They had given opportunity to work in NEHU along with Professor Roy sir, former Vice Chancellor. I did more than 410 courses, delivered with more than 300 lectures with the help of our senior teachers and many other well-wishers. So I identified myself, what is the software right here, Dr. K. Gupta, all the resource persons from 1st September to today, 21st September. I motivated continuously. The deliberate practice There is no shortcut method for professional development. The continuous, that is why continuing development of professional development of teachers. So I selected the way topics, learning, teaching, research, extension, your blended learning, qualitative, quantitative, mixed method. Even yesterday, Professor R.C. Patel sir research tools, what type of tools to collect. So we covered 360-degree of professional development of teachers. I don't want to take more time because well-known academicians, senior teachers are here. You are listening the last 21 days, and we are providing YouTube videos, recorded videos for all of you. The way we are with the help of Northeastern Hill University, Vice Chancellor Professor Sukla sir, it is my duty to welcome you all, and this all programs, recorded videos are available in Smart Education YouTube channel. Even I have a recording in my Cisco web. With the help of ICSSM, we are doing all these things. Now, without wasting time, I am inviting Professor C. Nombri ma'am. Very simple and punctual. Ma'am is the, I can say honestly, only 1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am is reaching the department early and leaving late.
Amar, let us save time. Let us save time because we have already started late. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Amar, for this. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It is audible, ma'am. Please, ma'am,
Yes.
continue.
Okay. A very good afternoon to each and everyone. Professor Sonawale, the chief guest of this valedictory function, Professor Panda, the guest of honor, Professor Sungo, the special guest, Professor Siem, the head of the Department of Education, NEHU Shillong, Professor Karbi Rambai, Dr. Amar, Dr. Kokoi, and respected resource person and dear participants. It is my pleasure to be part of this function and to listen to, the different days program, 21 days program of organized by, by our hosts and the coordinators of the program. I am very sure that we have all benefited from this program. However, we still have many resource persons of today's program and are to learn more from them. As the chairperson of this valedictory function, kindly permit me to say something at the end of the program, and instead, I invite Professor Siem to kindly deliver her address. I understand Professor Siem has an urgent meeting with the Vice Chancellor at 3 p.m. I would be very happy if everyone is accommodating to this immediate and urgent need of the program. Thank you so much. Professor Siem, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected chairperson of today's valedictory address, Madam Professor C. Nombri, the Dean School of Education, the special guest for this program, Professor S.M. Sungo, the chief guest of today's program, Professor Sonawal, the guest of honor, Professor Panda, and also the other dignitaries of this program, Dr. Amar, who has been instrumental in conducting this 21-day workshop, Dr. Gogoi, who is also from the College of Moran College, Assam, and we also have Professor Brinda Karbirambai. I take this as a privilege given to me when, to be able to give this address on this very important occasion. When Dr. Amar contacted me and told me about multiple intelligences and professional development, I was very apprehensive on how am I going to deliver an address and bring this particular theory, a very important theory in psychology, to the professional development of teachers. Well, after a lot of thought and a lot of thinking, well, I thought, okay, I should give a try. And I feel that, yes, for the benefit, and sorry, must say that I also, the participants who are very important, and a very important part of the program, for which this 21-day workshop would not have taken place without them. Well, then after a lot of thinking, I thought that, yes, maybe multiple intelligences is indeed important, especially for, participants and for teachers as a whole. Now, this theory, multiple intelligences, was the outcome of Howard Gardner, who was a professor of education at the Harvard University in 1983. It was an outcome of his research work in developmental and neuropsychology. Now, if you look back at literature, you will find that, intelligence traditionally was defined as the ability to answer items on a test of intelligence. And it is here that this theory of multiple intelligences began to, or I would say begins to diverge from the traditional points of view. And it is this theory which challenged the then dominant and still sometimes, I would say, prevalent belief that only linguistic and mathematical skills can define a person's intelligence. Now, instead, Howard Gardner claimed very strongly that everyone, every individual holds within them at least 8 intelligences or capacities. Now, and each individual has 1 or 2 of these intelligences in which they are stronger and 1 or 2 areas in which they are weaker. Now, Howard felt that these intelligences could be developed to a very higher level of competency, and that there are many ways to be intelligent with each category. So therefore, from a very professional development standpoint, this theory is a great reminder for all of us teachers that all students have different strengths, including ourselves, have different strengths and also the potential for academic achievement. I would also like to list out here the 8 multiple intelligences that Howard had particularly specified. Well, they need no explanation, but just let me, identify and point out these 8 multiple intelligences. These are the verbal linguistic intelligence, the logical mathematical intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, musical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, and the naturalistic intelligence, including the other 2, which are also very important, and that is the interpersonal intelligence and intrapersonal intelligence. And let me tell you that this theory of Howard Gardner gave rise to many other theories of intelligence, for which one of the most popular ones is the emotional intelligence, which has been, very propagated by Daniel Goleman. All right. Now, I will not explain these 8 intelligences, for which, each and every one of us understand very clearly. But I would just like to cite, some examples where, sometimes, some individuals think that they are poor in logical or mathematics because of their school experience. Of course, most people are not mathematics geniuses. They're not gifted in all or even in most facets of the subject. but everyone, let me tell you, can approach mathematics in a way that fits with his or her personality pattern, core needs and values, as well as associated cognitive talents. Similarly, individuals, perhaps you may believe that you lack, musical skills because your music teacher emphasized one approach to learning music, and that is memorizing notes to play, when actually an improvisational approach would have been more suitable for those candidates. Now, after the publication of his book, The Frames of Mind in 1983, a wave of innovative educational strategies, has been advancing throughout the United States of America and Canada. And if you look at the literature, you will find and the research that many schools in USA and Canada, they were, entirely dedicated to this multiple intelligences approach. And so therefore, you will find that in USA and Canada, this theory has become a framework for many of the teaching strategies. And so this theory, when it permeated the educational field, you will find that this theory had actually developed into practical classroom application strategies. So therefore, I would say that it is indeed very important. And especially you will find that in USA, they had developed and incorporated teaching strategies which are based on multiple intelligences theory, and they're still using today, with great success. Now, there has been a research that was also conducted, and from this research, there appears to be two major attitudes towards this multiple intelligence theory. Now, one of the attitudes are the multiple intelligences approach to teaching combined with other teaching strategies such as cooperative learning and higher order thinking skill development offers teachers a tool for increasing motivation and behavior, thereby, enhancing the general academic growth of their scholars or their students. Now, a few of the writers I would like to point out here: Dare, Duran, Mueller, and Washington in 1997 found that when multiple intelligences strategies were combined with cooperative learning and higher order thinking skills, there was a decrease in the behavior problems that interfered with student learning. They also found that the number of students who were at risk decreased as behavior improved. So therefore, you will find that cooperative learning and higher thinking skills, they go hand in hand with the multiple intelligences. Now, let me tell you and point out very clearly here that the above studies did not really isolate multiple intelligences strategies as being the sole catalyst for improved motivation, behavior, or learning. Rather, they involved a multi-pronged approach, which included cooperative learning and higher order thinking strategies as well. Now, the second attitude is that the multiple intelligences approach in itself, it offers solutions to the problems of student behavior, engagement, and attention, and therefore helps to improve the test scores of individuals. Now, teaching with multiple intelligences allows teachers to meet a wide range of students' needs, because in this approach, information is presented in a variety of ways. Now, both teachers and students can choose activities within the curriculum that will help the students learn best while strengthening minor intelligence areas. Teachers have been using a variety of strategies for years. However, let me emphasize here that multiple intelligences provides a structured approach to adding variety in the classroom. And it is a medium to reach children that corresponds with their learning strengths, while giving them an opportunity to expand their list of strengths. Multiple intelligences also offers students a chance to challenge themselves in less dominant learning modes. And one of the main benefits of utilizing the multiple intelligence approach is that the same concept can be taught in a number of different ways, although not every concept needs to be taught using all the intelligences. Now, students can also assimilate the material in a way that they can understand. And if one activity does not get the idea across, another activity definitely will help. Now, the other benefits that teachers have found in their students include increased leadership and responsibility for their own learning, improved behavior, improved cooperation, ability to work multimodally in student presentations, and better retention of material. Now, in this era where, as teachers, we need to compete with ICT, with all the electronic devices, and I would say at a time when all theorists, all researchers and educators appear open-minded about the concept of intelligence, multiple intelligences, they offers hope. And there was a brain research that was taken up, and this brain research, it has expanded at a very explosive rate. And what researchers knew yesterday is infinitely less what they will know tomorrow. So this brain research offers hope to teachers and students who struggle with the traditional methods of teaching and learning. And the hope is that there are new and also diverse ways in which we learn and demonstrate what we know, and that we are all intelligent in some way. And by applying this theory of multiple intelligences in the classroom, educators take into consideration the different types of learners they might have in their class, reinforce all types of intelligences in every student, and allow for an individual learning process. Now, one of the main reasons that Gardner's learning style or intelligences can lead to more effective teaching strategies than IQ-based strategies is because the approach is better at reaching children with disabilities. And using multiple intelligences in the classroom, on the other hand, is proven to help students with dyslexia and other learning disabilities. And not all students' strengths are within traditionally valued types of intelligence, like reading or math skills. By discovering the intellectual gifts a child already possesses, you can find ways to work with the existing strength and help slow learners in the classroom. Now, to conclude, I would like to say that, this multiple intelligences theory, as propagated by Gardner, has, a very unique contribution. And that is that all, as human beings, all have a repertoire of skills for solving different kinds of problems. And let me tell you that these intelligences, as indicated by Gardner, they are independent of one another. For example, a high-level ability in one intelligence, say mathematics, does not require a high-level ability in another, like language or music. This is, very much in contrast with the traditional measures of IQ that find high correlation among test scores. Now, another point which I'd like to emphasize here is that any degree of sophistication requires a combination of intelligences. If you take, for example, playing the violin transcends a reliance on musical intelligence. And to become a successful violinist requires bodily, kinesthetic intelligence, dexterity, and interpersonal skills of relating to an audience. And in a different way of choosing a manager, quite possibly it involves an intrapersonal intelligence as well. So here, for a degree of sophistication, you require a combination of intelligences. And individual may not be particularly gifted in any intelligence, and yet because of a combination or blend of these skills, he or she may be able to fill some niche uniquely well. So therefore, I would like to conclude by saying that this, in brief, the multiple intelligence theory leads us to three conclusions: that all individuals have the full range of intelligences. That is what makes us human beings. And no two individuals, not even identical twins, have exactly the same intellectual profile, because even when the genetic material is identical, individuals have different experiences. And having a strong intelligence does not mean that one necessarily acts intelligently. So with this, I conclude and say that, a knowledge of the multiple intelligence theory or the multiple intelligences, a knowledge of this for all the teachers will go a long way in enhancing in enhancing the academic, enhancing the work of students, in enhancing the teaching learning process, and definitely your strategy and your strategy and direction and your strategy to teaching will definitely change. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you once again.
So, Professor Ivadani CM for that very enlightening, delivery, which I think, as I've mentioned earlier on, we still have many resource person in this function, and we are learning more. Thank you so much. I know you have a very important meeting. That is why we have to accommodate. And thank you to all the all the dignitaries for accommodating this change in the program. Thank you. Next, I think we come to next the address by the guest of honor, Professor Panda. I request Professor Panda to kindly take the floor.
Thank you so much, Professor Nangri and Dr. Amar. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Nangri, the chairperson of this session, the chief guest of this session, Professor Sonwal, special guest, Madam Sungo, then Professor Ivadalin, Professor Brinda, and all the dignitaries present here itself, and the participants, the valued participants. This is the valedictory, I think, session of this 21 days FDP program for professional development of teachers in higher education. I think I thank first of all Dr. Amar and the whole Department of Education for undertaking this kind of a massive exercise, and particularly when the new education policy is knocking at the door, and maybe when it is implemented, I think the kind of delivery, the kind of knowledge, skill that have been imparted to all our participants, that would go in a long way, I think, in better implementing some of the implementable aspects of the new education policy. Let me put the whole exercise I think in Amartya sense, hypothesis of capability expansion of individuals and communities. I think Dr. Amar and my whole education department faculty members, they would agree. I think this is for the first time this kind of an exercise has been undertaken. Yeah, maybe the Department of Education is undertaking a lot of webinars, seminars, workshops, and this one is in continuum. But then I think this time, I think the range of resource persons that Dr. Amar and the whole education department have been able to rope in, I think that speaks volumes about the department. And I'm really, really, privileged and also happy that these kind of exercises are going to take our university, I think, to the next stage and would prepare our university to have better ranking in days to come in the NIRF framework. Now, I am happy because for another reason too. See, we always define, I think, let me quote Amartya Sen, when he says development, he talks about development of not only economies, of societies also taken together. He says development is all about expanding the vector of capability of individuals and communities. And this 21 days program, let me put it in the framework of that kind of a hypothesis. How has it done? How has it been instrumental in expanding the capability vector of individuals as well as the community? Professor, I think Ibadani, few minutes before was talking about multiple, intelligence and its role. And it's I mean to say how to leverage that for development of individuals and also of communities. Now, see, each one of us, I think we have our visible, I think, outward capabilities, and also we have our latent, talent or capability. Now, what happens actually? It's through these kind of courses, these kind of programs. I think many of the latent, capabilities that we as teachers do have for betterment of our teaching skills, a betterment of our delivery, or updating our knowledge, becoming I mean say developing that critical assessment part of our students, and also developing the critical thinking in ourselves. And then with this kind of, I think, inputs, with this kind of skills, knowledge, we would be in a better position to contribute to the development of our students, their enrichment, and also the enrichment of the university, college where we are working, and subsequently, I think, for the development and enrichment of the whole nation. Now, individually, I'm sure each of the participants, including me, we have been, we have all been benefited from the kind of interactions that have gone through during the last 21 days. And Amar is very dynamic in that, and he has made a very fine tuning, a very calibrated, balanced exercise to have resource persons from different parts of the country and even beyond the country also. So there is an international connect to that also. Now, see, when we have heard, we have listened to all the resource persons, and then also interacted with them. Then it has, I would definitely say that this must have added to our existing skill and also expanded our, I mean to say, scope of understanding, and also in a sense, positively influenced the latent capabilities that each one of us would have with us. So that way, it's this whole exercise of this faculty development program is an exercise in expanding the capability vector of every individual participant here itself, including me. Now, the second part is all about expanding the capability vector of the community. Let me give you a simple example here itself. What's the difference between the capability expansion of an individual and the capability expansion of a community? Just citing a bicycle example. Normally, let's say if there are two individuals, A and B, and the government gives a branded bicycle to individual A, then in the language of the government, I mean say individual A, because he has got or she has got a new branded bicycle, she or he is little developed now. But then the fact may be like this. Individual A, although the government has given a bicycle to individual A, he or she may not be able to make much use of it if she is or he is physically challenged. Hypothetical situation I'm explaining. So providing a new branded bicycle to an individual who is otherwise, let's say, physically challenged, I think in the language of the government, he or she is now little developed. But when it comes to the practical use of this bicycle, she or he would not be able to make much use of it, except the fact that she may dispose it of or he may dispose it of, get some income. So that's not development. Development is all about expanding the capability vector of that individual. If that individual, for example, if for some kind of other capabilities which can be expanded, then he or she can make use of this bicycle much more. That's when it comes to the expanding the capability vector of an individual. Now for community, another same bicycle example. There are two individuals, A and B. The government gives branded bicycle to both of them and tells them that, okay, you now, from you just make use of this bicycle, and then, and using that bicycle, travel a distance of 10 kilometers, let's say from NEHU campus to Police Bazaar. And now, individual A takes, let's say there are two routes to reach Police Bazaar. Route A, which individual, route 1, which individual A takes, is full of depressions. And route 2, which individual B takes, is a comparatively better road, well-maintained road, without much of depressions. Now, when both of them start, both of them are mentally, physically, let's say, similar. And both of them start, I think, riding this bicycle at the same time and start their journey. But ultimately what happens, we find that individual B reaches Police Bazaar, I think 10 minutes, 20 minutes before compared to individual A. So how does this difference come in? The difference, both of them in terms of physical, mental, and other kind of fitness, they are similar, almost same. But the difference is not basically because of differences in their individual capability. The difference happens basically because of the road, the condition of the road. So the condition of the road is an example of the community. We may be having our individual talents and all that, but then unless the community plays a leveraging role, I think many times the individual capabilities are not made use of. That's what the difference between expanding the capability vector of an individual and of the community. Now, this program, which has been undertaken by Dr. Omar, I think it has, I'm convinced, that it must have, expanded the capability vector of all our participants, their individual capabilities, as well as also the capability vector of communities where, for example, our own university or colleges, I think, from which the student and the participants have come, it has also expanded the capability vector of universities or departments in our universities like ours, and also the colleges and educational institutions from which I think many of our valued participants are from. So in that way, I think I see the contribution of this faculty development program towards, I think, expanding the capability vector of both the individual participants and the community, which is organizing this kind of a program or giving this or providing this platform. I think that's what actually I thought I would reflect upon it. So once again, I think Amar, thank you so much, and particularly and also the Department of Education for undertaking this massive exercise and providing us with so many varieties of lectures, I think, which must have benefited and definitely has benefited, I think, all of us who did listen, I think, throughout these 21 days. So thank you so much, Dr. Amar, Professor Nangri. So it was a pleasure.
Most welcome, sir.
It was a
Thank you
pleasure.
so much,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
Thank
To
you
be with-
so much.
Thank you so much.
Panda,
Thank you, ma'am.
for that, I think Dr. Amar, as the host of the program and along with the coordinator from Moran College, they will not be able to conduct this 21 program if not for your support and your encouragement for along with the whole Department of Education. Thank you, sir, for those precious words, inspiring words, which will go a long way to boost the moral of all the resource person, the faculty, particularly the coordinators, the hosts of this program. Thank you so much. And we go to the next, and that is the speech from our special guest, our very own Professor S.M. Sungo, who needs no introduction. Madam, please.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Respected Chairperson, Professor Nongri, Dean School of Education, Professor Sanjeev Sonowain, Chief Guest, Professor B. Panda, Guest of Honor, Professor Ibadanis Abe, Head Department of Education, Professor Brinda Karbirambai, coordinators Dr. Reddy and Dr. Gogoi, esteemed dignitaries, resource persons, and dear participants. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak during this valedictory function of the ICSSR-NERC sponsored 21-day international workshop cum FDP on innovative techniques for professional development of teachers in higher education. I'm sure that all the participants, after looking at the theme, have really motivated them to maybe join this program on the first day itself. So I would like to thank Dr. Amar and Dr. Gogoi for arranging this program as well. Now, we talk so much about professional development. Now, professional development of educators is a complex process through which teachers strive continuously for pedagogical improvement. In that sense, professional growth benefits learners and teachers while also promoting the quality of education in all academic institutions and departments where it takes place. When we talk about innovative professional development, there are challenges for teachers to analyze current practices, identify areas for improvement, and implement policies, especially with the new education policy practice and also programmatic changes to enhance and redesign teacher professional development systems. Dr. Amar was speaking about the continuation of professional development. You know, continuing professional development is a multifaceted, lifelong experience which can take place inside or outside the workplace and which often moves beyond the professional and into the realm of a teacher's personal life too. So professional development consists of all natural learning experiences and those conscious and planned activities which are intended to be of direct or indirect benefit to the students. Now, it is the process by which teachers should review, renew, and extend their commitment as change agents to the moral purpose of teaching, and by which they acquire and develop critically the knowledge, skills, and emotional intelligence, as what Professor Steam has just mentioned earlier, These are essential, and it's good professional thinking, planning and practice with students, young people and colleagues throughout each phase of one's teaching lives. Now, continuous professional development is an autonomous activity undertaken by the individual, but the most effective continuing professional development happens through collaboration and sharing of these learning experiences. All of this, as well as critical self-reflection, helps a teacher to build a stronger sense of self-awareness and also accountability. So knowledge is acquired through a discourse between whom? Between the teachers and the students. So adequate opportunities to students to acquire knowledge through online, offline or blended mode as much as possible is important. Now the collaboration approach can also be introduced through this task-based group and pair work. This is a very positive effect on learning. Now, teachers and students also become motivated and they develop a positive attitude to learning when it's engaging and fun and relates directly to their needs and context. So change can only be achieved if teachers are encouraged to reflect on their current teaching practice and also their personal beliefs about teaching. Now, through experiential teacher education program or activities and such as peer teaching, for example, lesson planning, teachers can practice and also develop their teaching skills and knowledge more effectively. So teacher education and development programs should provide a mix of teaching skills and also subject matter knowledge. So the relationship between the teacher and the student, or the teacher and the trainer, is fundamentally important and should be based on mutual respect and understanding. Now, why is continuing professional development important in India and in our own state or in the present context? One of India's priority is to improve the learning outcomes of learners studying in the educational institutions of the country. And now we have seen that the National Education Policy 2020 has also emphasized on the learning outcomes of the learners. So for this to happen, the quality of teaching is paramount, and much more is being done on raising teaching standards across the country. While it is important to know how much money is being spent on such inputs as teacher education and physical facilities, policymakers recognize that it is equally important to know what students are learning in the classroom. I would ask these questions. What kind of knowledge, skills, and attitudes does the education system develop? How do we assess learning outcomes how do assess learning outcomes reflect the stated goals and objectives of the national education system? Now, what factors are associated with student achievement? And policymakers argue that students will need higher levels of knowledge and skills if they are to participate meaningfully in the world of work or to assess further or higher education. Professional development is the key. It's the answer to all these questions I've put forth, not only as a requirement for the workplace or perceived to be, but also for access to education at the higher levels. Now, learning outcomes are defined as what a student knows, understands, and is able to do as a result of a learning activity. So improving the quality of teaching overall plays a huge part in improving outcomes. So continuing professional development is in turn a key component of raising standards and of improving the quality of education. Now, successfully implementing continuing professional development in India in the longer term requires a strong understanding of the external and the internal barriers. Any commitment to change has knowledge, acknowledge, embrace, and be continuously solution focused. So pre-service training, in-service training at the moment is mostly theory based, as we can see, and teachers come out ill-equipped to handle day-to-day classroom realities and receive no encouragement to personally invest in their own development. We have seen that there are so many challenges, there are so many problems with regards to professional development of teachers. Sometimes teachers are not given the time for attending these professional programs. But professional development is very important. So institution needs to give them time. They need to give them a leverage for helping them to grow and develop professionally. So added to the scale, involved and lack of time and incentives for teachers to take it up, and continuing professional development can seem like an insurmountable mountain, so to say. As if that wasn't enough, internal barriers include a constantly changing environment in terms of policy changes and government interventions, the overall notion of good practice not being sufficiently understood or understandably varying across and diverse contexts within India, and the need to constantly maintain a strong understanding of the policy which changes very fast. So, training institutions and programs, the FDP programs, for example, should focus on the personal and the professional development of teachers. Programs for professional development must be addressed holistically, and it should focus on the whole person, not just on their traditional professional career pathway. We have seen that by using professional development activities that focus on the individual, like for example learning journals, discussion, self-initiated action, research, personal profiles, portfolios rather, and the change stories, etc., combined with the quality training interventions and awareness arising the impact can be very, very significant. So as long as professional development program is seen purely as a training or a testing, it will be difficult to make much progress. So change happens when we are able to demonstrate how professional development programs makes a tangible difference to student learning outcomes and links with current policies initiatives that see these as essentials. Now, we need to also choose the right approach in our FDP programs. Programs for professional development should be implicit or explicit, top-down or bottom-up. This is the key and requires creativity and a solution-focused mindset. So there will never be a one-size-fits-all. And what may have worked in one project or one region or one state may not necessarily work in another. We should also, through these programs, make sure that benefits of professional development programs are clear to all the participants. Now, the aims and objectives of the program must be clearly stated. Areas to be discussed needs to be mentioned to everyone who participates in this professional development program. So the outcomes and the benefits of the program should also be highlighted and emphasized and shown to all the participants before they participate in these professional development programs, so that they know what their needs are, so that they know what their benefits are. Now, we need to also keep professional development programs simple, but I emphasize, well understood. So if professional development programs are seen as complex or difficult to put into practice, then we have seen teachers simply won't do it. It is essential, therefore, to keep professional development programs intervention simple and tailored to the program or project. It is also important for impact to be visible and to keep linking success factors and also improve classroom learning outcomes back to a professional development program process. So something as simple as using recycled materials to create an innovative new teaching and learning aid can aim at a specific learning hotspot, can be done creatively and easily with a strong outcome. Now, professional development programs should be implementable. It needs to be user-friendly, helping teachers and teacher educators find easy ways to incorporate these professional development program activities into what they already know doing, or what they are already doing is the key for implementation. So whether that is through incorporating a learning journal or reflecting component into training or sharing experience or undertaking a formal qualification, professional development programs needs to fit the current context for the individual, the institutions, as well as the program. So we also need to make sure that this personal development side is aligned to where teachers are in both, at all levels, and there should be a competence in teaching methodology, and it should be realistic in terms of what actually teachers need to do inside the classroom. And we also need to empower master trainers and teacher educators. This is very important in these FDP programs. So we need to recognize that for a sustainable long-term change, the master trainers or the teacher educators needs to be enabled to train and support teachers' individual needs in the same way that we expect a teacher to support his or her students' learning needs. But starting with the familiar through equipping them to deal with these realities of the training rooms build confidence, ensures that teachers are exposed to a variety of methods of training that is practical, and it mirrors the desired methodology of the classroom. This in turn provides a foundation for them to theorize their practice and become the enabler of the future. So professional development programs should not be confined to actually trainers and teachers, but should be also relevant. It should also be relevant to education officers, senior academic staff, project designers, principals, senior officers who or officials who are responsible for designing and managing in the implementation of education. So this, builds a shared understanding of objectives. It provides intrinsic motivation and is more likely to ensure a sustainable quality outcome. So in conclusion, I would like to say that the FDP is a contemplative educational platform that is inclusive of all intended self-analysis, identification of persons' requirements, the work requirements, the recognition of spaces, and the decisions about action. Further, it should help in improving professional skills and self-confidence of teachers and other stakeholders of education, as I've just mentioned. Now, research is also one of the components, which is very important. Research has also shown that FDP have shown to foster the teaching, assessing, research, leadership, and also administrative skills. It is best delivered in a structured format as workplace-based education, which should be, pitched to a matched learning styles of faculty for enhancing its effectiveness. However, it is not. We have seen that there is no unified and standard faculty educational framework, but the program can be structured and tailored to match the desired goals and the educational needs. Such programs demand resources, budget, administrative efforts, and support, space, and commitment. So on the basis of this, I would like to thank Professor B. Panda, the Honorary Director of ICSSR, for providing us with all these financial assistance and support in organizing this FDP program. I would also like to thank all the eminent resource persons for helping the Department of Education to fulfill its dreams of organizing and completing this program, this 21 days FDP program. Further, I would also like to congratulate all the participants for successfully completing the 21 days FDP program. So in conclusion, once again, I would like to congratulate the coordinators, the Department of Education, the resource persons, and all the participants for completing this particular course. And I'm sure that this course have benefited each and every one of you listening now. And I'm really grateful to all the eminent resource persons who have really helped us in enhancing the professional development of all our participants. Thank you so much, my dear eminent resource person. Thank you so much, Professor Panda. Thank you so much, our coordinators, Professor Dr. Reddy and also Dr. Gogoi. And we thank the Dean of School of Education also for giving us this opportunity to organize this program. And once again, I would like to congratulate each and every one who are involved in this program, and I would like to wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
With the permission of the chairperson, Professor Nombri ma'am, I am requesting Dr. Srutaswini Gupta ma'am to welcome the today's chief guest, Professor Sanjeev Sonevanis.
Okay. Actually, already I welcome once again. A warm welcome to you, sir. So, sir is Honorable Director, School of Education, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. Sir, we are very happy to have you today with us in our valedictory function. So now it is over to you, sir. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Now I am requesting chairperson ma'am to invite Professor Sanjeev Sonevanis sir to deliver his lecture.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kukoi, for that warm welcoming to Professor, our very dear Professor Sanjeev Sonevan. Sir, I think we are very privileged, and it is really an honor to have you in this program, which is, the completion of the 21 days program. Earlier on, I had mentioned that we are yet to hear from all the resource persons. And as Professor Panda has rightly mentioned, Dr. Amar, Dr. Reddy has really got the brains of, the country. And sir is having many caps to his feather to his cap. And sir, I won't take much time. I just warmly welcome you to this valedictory function, and I request you, sir, to deliver a chief guest address, please.
Thank you, Professor Nombri Madam, Professor Reddy, for giving me opportunity to be speaker at the valedictory function of this 21st day professional development workshop and all this thing. So, so again, HOD of Department of Education, Dean of NEHU University, Faculty of Education, and all other participants who are connected to this program. Friends, I am going to interact with you on the area of Education 4.0, which is a very emerging area in the area of school education, also in the teacher education, which we are going to reform through the new education policy. So I'm going to share my PPT with you. So few seconds, please be with me. It is shared.
Right now, it's not, sir. Maybe it takes few seconds.
Okay. It's taking.
Otherwise, you can send mail, sir. I just sent my mail address. I can share.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute, sir. I'm changing role. Again, I will add.
But it should immediately, I think, share. Why it is not shared?
Sir, now it will appear. Just 1 minute. Now you can check, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh? It is
Yes,
appear?
sir. Yes, sir. It is coming. Yes, sir. Make it presentation mode, sir. Just presentation mode.
Yeah.
Excellent, sir.
It is in the presentation mode.
Yes, sir. But taking one few seconds. Otherwise, you can go back previous view only, sir. Now it is still loading.
Okay.
Just one. Yes, sir. Enough, sir. Excellent, sir.
Okay. So friends,
Yes, sir, please.
I'm going to discuss with you just now the Amaresh Reddy had said me I should talk on education 4.0. So friends, how the industry is going to change, according to that, the education is also going to change. And regarding that, what type of teacher we have to produce so that they can be able to or competent in the education system or school education system. Totally, the new education policy is taking care regarding this. How the new education policy is going to change. So, friends, this is the one of the thought which will be very useful to you if we taught music the way we try to teach engineering in an unbroken 4-year course. We could end up with all the theory and no music. You can teach them theory, but the purpose will not serve. When we study music, we start to practice from the beginning and we practice for the entire time. So my point is that the teacher has to take care that every subject or every area cannot be taught by a traditional way. So it has to take care. And that this is one of the professional teaching and lesson to be taken by the teachers. And for the education 4.0, this is one of the things. Do not teach every subject or every area as a same. It has its own character and you have to take care according to that. Then, friends, this is the one of the interesting unknown author had said If we teach today the way we were taught, that means ourselves has been taught. Yesterday, we aren't preparing the student for the tomorrow. And I'm going to talk with you the education 4.0 means which types of teachers we are going to, which types of researcher, which types of thinkers, which types of leaders we are going to prepare through the education system. Here I am presenting you, friends, the what was happening actually, how the revolution taking place, industrial revolution, and according to that, how the education system has taken the shape. Now, in the 1780, if you see here, the steam and water was the resource of the energy, and every industry was based on that. But in afterwards is what happens actually. It has been changed to the production line in the 19th. And then in 1970, when the electricity and computer comes, total feature has been changed. How the industry 1, 2, 3, and 4, we are there. And in 2000, the internet and connecting the computer, how changed the total life of a human being, not only the production, not only the industry, but also total human life has been covered by this internet and connecting through the computer. And according to that, the jobs has been lost and new job has been introduced. And for the new job, which type of competencies, knowledge, skills, and attitude are needed? According to that, we have to teach the subjects, areas in the schools, and we have to prepare that type of teacher for tomorrow. Now see, here's the history of Indian Revolution. Why I'm talking with you about how it has been changed. Because the school curricula will be in the new education policy will be drafted on these things. And according to that, we have to change. Now, just now I says that the industrial production based on the machines powered by water and steam engine was the source of machine energy. In 1780 it was introduced, and that was the industry 1.0. Then 2.0 in 1870 electrification has been occurred, and that we call as industry 2.0. And then industry 3.0 comes in the 1970 with the automation using electronics and computers. And now 3.5, that is the 1980, that globalization occurs. And cost effective production and everything is there. And at this juncture, actually, in 90, China emerged, India emerged as in production houses and services houses, and our industry, our university courses. There was no computer department before. In 18th and 19th, lots of computer department has been opened in all the universities. And after 90s, the computer came into the examination section. Computer come into the classroom now. And that's actually we are experiencing now. How the industrial revolution is influencing the education, and it become a complementary to the industry to provide a human resources to work in the industry and provide a knowledge to the industry, so that lots of revolution, lots of production and quality of life through this wealth we can create it. Friends, it is very simple that when we say that the purpose of education is creation of knowledge. Purpose of education is second objective is that the storage of knowledge, so that the next generation can use it for their own benefit. Then the third objective is the dissemination. Just we have totally changed the feature of the education. Now everybody is online with the help of technology. But previously it was only the classroom was only the learning place. Now the learning place has been changed. We are at a different places. I am at a different place, but we are interacting with you and learning from each others. Like that, in a daily teaching learning process also, it has been rectified, modified, and taking place of like that. Then what is coming tomorrow? Now today, what is today? Today we are connected. If you see that, everybody is connected with WhatsApp, everybody is connected with the Instagram. There are so many Facebook, social media, I can say. And that's always have a data analytics, artificial intelligence, big data analysis, and automation is taking place. Now in future, what will be the 5.0? Why I want to aware all of you, because actually the education will be changed shape. Education will change according to the needs of the industry and what type of industry is there today. And you and me, everybody is experiencing that, how we are connected to each other, that the today's technology is available to us. It's called digital technology. And this digital technology has been covered everybody's life. And through that, we are now experiencing the different experiences and learning through this. So we are teachers, and how our students will be prepared for the future. That's the great challenge in front of us. How the teachers, if the teachers are professionally development to overcome or to compensate with the future of industry, for future for the industry, or also for the education system, and for through that only we can establish a peace in the world or social justice in the world. Then what is the 5.0 industry is coming? So in the fifth industrial revolution, industry 5.0 will be focused on the cooperation between man and machine, as human intelligence work in harmony with the cognitive computing, by putting humans back into the industrial production with collaborative robots, workers will be upskilled to provide value-added tasks in the production, leading to the mass customization and personalization for the customers. And friends, with this robotics engineering, now it has been come. Now at the school level, then what type of preparation? To prepare robots in a specific purpose function, what type of skills, basic knowledge, basic literacy, computational knowledge, or we can say the technology knowledge, which will be based on the mathematics, science, and also it has to be attached with the greatest value education, which will be prepare a great personality of a person. Because we have a technology, but whether the technology to be utilized by the betterment by the everyone, for the betterment of the mankind, that's the great thing we have to do. And for that purpose, our teachers should be aware about what type of industry and society is going to change. And according to that, our syllabi at the school will be changed. And we are preparing a teacher through the teacher education. Also, some may be teachers in the school. So this type of education we have to provide, we have to arrange at the school level, so that we can prepare a future citizenship of a globe. And that's the new education policy is saying, that we will be preparing the knowledge citizenship, knowledgeable citizenship, which will be in the global world, competent as per the need of ours. And friends, this is interesting. The industry 4.0 ecosystem, what is it actually? Cyber security, we are talking about it. Cloud computing, every university and computer sit now. Nobody's talking about the server. Everybody's talking about the cloud computing system and sensors. The big data analysis, advanced manufacturing systems, it is in the industrial area. And we talk about the robotics and everything there. Mass customization. So how the customers needed, according to that, there is there. And then the clients is taken clear. The logistics is there, suppliers are there. And in this situation, we'll see the 3D printing. It's taught in our universities now. The monotechnology, nanotechnology, advanced materials, that is there. Robots are there. Autonomous vehicles, that is also there. Now the without driver cars are coming. And lots of the cars are giving signals regarding the security and safety. So Internet of Things, lots of things are coming. Along with that, resource of the future. What will the future? Non-conventional energy will be there. And that's for that purpose. The electrical vehicles are coming. Electric cars are coming. Now the fossil fuel, which is the petrol and diesel, will be replaced by another energy, and sustainable way we will go there. Why I am averring all these things? This is the life now, henceforth. Today also some part of it has been covered. Then teachers should be aware of this, and teachers has to prepare their professional needs, own professional competencies according to compensate with the industry 4.0 ecosystems need. What type of human resources we are preparing through our education system? The basic competencies will be prepared at the school level, and then at the university level, they will be well versed with the higher knowledge and the research, so that they can create a new knowledge, innovate the things. New processes will be involved, but the catchment for the universities will be school. As the quality of a school education, the future needs taking into consideration will be improved. I think the country will go ahead. So the recognition or the brand value of India is now the IT hubs, IT capitals, IT human resources, and lots of developed countries. We have a computer technologist there, and this is the computer technology, computer program. There was no company before. I think the 25 years, Infosys, the Tata consultancies, Persistence. The computer-based technology companies was not there. This production houses not there. Software industry was not there. But it has been as the need of the hours. I said that industry 4.0 and 3.0 has introduced computers, and now connectivity and internet. We are at this juncture. My point is that, friends, why we need to understood all these things? Because we have to prepare our future citizenship, which will be lived in this industry 4.0 and industry 3.0, and we have to prepare them for the industry 5.0. So 6 drivers of a change in workplaces. We need to prepare a human resources or the human capital, we can say. Lots of people talking about the population of India, but lots of people also say that it is a gift to India, that China and India, if we train them, if we educate them, if we give the skills to them, it will be asset to the country, and the country will be benefited with the population. We see as the dividend to it. So we have to first think about what type of the workplace are going to change. So extreme longevity, people are living more. Indian people are also living long now. So see, the people are living longer. By 2025, the number of the Indian peoples, they will live now above average is the 70 and 75. So longevity is there, number is there along with that. So they will work for a long time, and everybody is now. Some people ask to the retired people, "Are you retired?" Not feel that you are retired. You are fit. That means their health is good, and they can produce now. They can serve afterwards also. The rise of smart machines and systems. So that's also one of the workplace automation is killing the repetitive jobs. The automation is working again and again. We say the our previous generation was typing the thesis of a doctoral study on the typewriting machine. Nobody is using that typewriting machine. If there is a simple mistakes in a they have to again retype it. Now only the word has been changed now in the computer. So increase in the season sensors and processing makes the word a programmable system. So data will be give us a ability to see the things on a scale has never been possible before. Now the data is stored, data is processed, sensor technology is used, and lots of things are there. Hotels or any places, lots of things are there. The sensors recognize actually the fire sensors and give it the signals and lots of dangers. These are the technologies are coming in this area. There lots of sensory technologies are developed, and in each university, in my university, we have a MSc in sensor technology in the technology department. So friends, there are so many things are going to change. New media ecology, new communication tools are coming, and due to that, previously that telephone was there, but no, 1 second you can send big document, big data to the any corner of the world. Then there are social technologies, use new forms and production of a value creation. Social tools are there. The peoples are, I say that the WhatsApp and everything is also shaping it, and we have to take care of it. That become a part of a research and education. So globally connected world, we had talked about it. So the cross-border definitions are there. But the education, just now, I'm sitting at one place, but we are teaching there. The books programs are coming. Coursera, edX, Swayam. Due to the connectivity, you can learn from any corner of any university's course now. That become a thing. But my point is that whether our teacher will be trained, professionally developed to cope up with all these things, and what to teach and what to learn, what to taught, formal curricula, what is learned, that is more important. What is the hidden curricula? One tool to think about the student experience. In the notion of the hidden curricula, that really we have to take care about it, that where we are going. And for that, value education is one of the important things. Young people need skills and experience for job of the future, not today's occupation. Entry level disappears. Now the automation is the skill. 70% people needs a automation skills, and that's why lots of universities have changed the engineering syllabus, and it will appear in the what is the Byju's? Byju's is there. Khan Academy is there. Now the Swayam is there. Suvarna Prabha is there. Nishta is there. In our country, it is entered into the life of a teacher and teaching and learning process. The friends, the 60% of the students are being trained in the job that will be readily changed by the automation. And for that purpose, we have to take care of that. And according to that, the new education syllabi and teacher has to prepare. Then and now, see, I had compared it, the aspirants of the current generation, what they need. Our teachers, they need a mobile phone, video streaming, new shorts and Twitter. Any other a paragraph is mutating, distracting reduced institutions, and the different modes of teaching across schools and colleges are distracting for average students, and they have to change the boundaries across disciplines world. And that's why the new education policy is talking about the interdisciplinary approach in teaching. So no one subject can solve one problem, one problem. And that is why If you study a one problem, it need a lots of things to be, lots of subjects knowledge to solve the problem. And that's why now it will be a single faculty, colleges and universities will be, and that's why MERU, the multidisciplinary institutions will come up. And in you know that this new education policy is talking about there will be no colleges of education as a island only. It has to be with the multidisciplinary colleges. It will be, you have to attach with it. So that debate is going on in this nation. But we will see what type of action plan to implement this new education policy will come. According to that, we have to change. But the things are going to change. And that's the multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approach is coming everywhere, because the single subject or single discipline cannot be solved the problems, because problem has so many angles: social angle, economic angle, legal angle, medical angle, lots of. Just now in a we had COVID-19, we had experienced that. The medical science, social science, civic science, economics, psychology, lots of things has been occurred in this era, and then the economics has been lost. Learning loss has been occurred due to the not having a face-to-face schools. And the study is going on. That's why any problem emergence in front of the human being, we have to solve with the different problem. And that's why one of the professional development we have to do that. We have to think now multidisciplinary. We have to think about the interdisciplinary. We have to think about the transdisciplinary approach. And that's why I'm requesting to my teacher friends, you be reading for the professional development in this approach of a multidisciplinary approach. And this the virtual interaction, and you should be ready for the online teaching now and online virtual classroom. It's not only the replacing by the video along with that, but you have to take care of what type of pedagogy of audio pedagogy, audio visual pedagogy, the connectivist pedagogy, challenge pedagogy, techno pedagogy. There are new pedagogies has been emerged now. And according to that, we have to prepare our teachers professionally ready so that they will be excellent, unless the teacher will be replaced by a teacher who know the advanced pedagogy. And the educational requirement, education model of the 19th was only 20% professionals. Nobody was talking about the professionalism. 30% merchants and office workers and 50% labor work. But now the 21st century, and now we will be needed the minority of temporary and seasonal workers will be needed. Hard-working and self-educated workers with the initiative to manage their own work and time, and which call for the development of achievement of higher taxonomic and cognitive level skill. As the Bloom had told us, the creators, innovators, higher order thinkers, we need to create through our education system, and whether our teachers are ready for the preparing this type of innovators and higher education thinkers or not. So education, the centuries of experience and memorization was there. And it create a new knowledge. It takes centuries of that. But today, in a few hours, new knowledge is created. So education 2.0 development of print technology has been taken place and that's why it became education. Still we are using that, but now we are shifted to the internet enabled learning, consuming and producing knowledge. Then we are produce the knowledge. Also we say that. Friends, industry and academia relationship is one of the things which is very paramount in the professional development of the teacher. We have to see that how the industry people think of the academia people. Industry people says that you, the academicians, create a knowledge. You academicians create knowledge in the laboratories, in the fields, by doing the research at the higher education level. And we consume that knowledge. We consume, industry people consume, use that knowledge, create wealth from this. and that we return to the government in the form of tax, and that wealth, that tax you consume as a salary. And this is the relationship among each other. That means the whatever may be the knowledge we create as a academician or researcher, the industry people are using it. They create a wealth, they pay tax, and we consume it. So the cycle is going on actually for that purpose. And that is why in the education 4.0, empowering education to produce innovations. We need innovators. Which country is a great country now? Those having a great army and lots of planes and missiles? No. The great country is an economically sound country. And when economically sound country will be there, lots of the intellectual property rights, the patents, those who are having a more patents. Now we'll take an example of a vaccination. The Covishield is the vaccination. We say that we produce here. No, we produce here, but the formula has been developed in Great Britain. Formula has been developed. The Pfizer is developed in a Sputnik is developed in Russia. Covaxin is developed in India, and the rights are there. Every vaccine, when somebody is selling it, you are getting an intellectual property right for that. Then what type of copyrights you in education also? We prepare some test to take. Suppose I had prepared one test of a scientific attitude test of a test, and I had a copyright, and people take it, buy it for their own research, and I get the right. So this is the thing. Beyond only the classroom teaching, we have to think of it. And these things, so innovation is very important. Then what type of, everybody can innovate? That's the question. And we have to see the potential innovators in our own students, and teachers should be able to groom the innovators for there. And see, this is the future. This is the future. If we are preparing a critical thinker, creative thinker, innovators, and researchers, then it will create a new knowledge, and then that country will become a capital. So country will become a superpower. Without knowledge, country cannot be a superpower. And for that purpose, who will create a knowledge in future? Our student. And for that purpose, our teachers should be professionally developed so that their students will be innovators. And that type of education, they should be delivered in the schools and classrooms. So friends, this is again the description regarding I am sharing this my PPT with the Dr. Reddy sir. He can share with you. I will not spend too much time on that. See again the importance of the industry for evolution of education in 4.0. So see, download 1.2 dictated at that time. The teacher only dictate. Then 2.0 socially constructed, usually in the internet access, socially constructed the knowledge, which we see that socially means a classroom and all this thing. But friends, now in a 4.0, build through a selective individual and team-driven focus innovation and practices, so that we can create a knowledge and intellectual property right and so many patents, so that we will get a lots of wealth through it, and our nation, this soil will become really a great in the whole world. And that was not only it is not only, we can say that in a sense that we have a higher number of population. We will utilize that population to convert into a great thing, so that our capital will improve, and we will be superpower in the nation. And that's why we have to understand it, how the industry is going to change, how the things are going to change. So changes of rapid changes of necessary qualifications. We need not need now out of dated qualifications. We need a new degrees. We need a new knowledge. We need a fresh knowledge. And not only that, after gaining the knowledge, every 2 or 3 years, what is coming new? We should be aware of this. And that's the professional approach we have to teach to our students. And that should be professionally adapted by our own teachers, that they should be always ready for the new learning. And this type of value to be inculcated in our future citizenships. Who will inculcate them? In a school, the teacher, the great teacher, with the Chanakya is saying, teacher is always great, and that the great teacher will do it. And for that purpose, we have to understand it very well, what is going to change. And that change is not only in the industry, that change in the society, and that change, to recognize that change and give response to the change, is the alive thing, is the human's thing. Human can do it only. See, lion cannot make a poem, but we do lots of things. Why? Because we are thinkers and thinking skills, and we have to think according to that. What type of changes are occurring? What type of challenges are occurring? You read the book of Alvin Toffler, What Are the Future Shocks? And the Alvin Toffler says that the teachers, if they don't know what type of challenges will be faced by their own student, but to solve the problems, if you make a competent them, they will analyze the problem. They will study the problem. They will find out the solution. And they will implement the solution. They will improve it. And they will be succeed in that life. And this type of students we have to prepare, friends. And for that purpose, be ready for the professionally. Amar, within 2 minutes, I'm going to finish at 4 o'clock. It's
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem. You can take, sir.
No, it's an online class, has to be finished within a time.
Actually, after you, me only, sir. There is no other resource person. We have up to 4:30 time.
That's fine. See. So creation of new jobs for high-skilled workers in the area of planning, configuration, and maintenance of the new technologies. But the new technologies are coming. But what type of skills will be needed? Basic skills. That's a computational thing. Thinking skills that are only developed in a school level, that are developed at a elementary, primary, or secondary level. And for that purpose, that approach should be there. So extensive control and monitoring. Along with that, I want to share you one thing. The values to be inculcated along with this industry, we can say. So how the project-based action learning is going to change due to this? That is, I had implemented here. The strategy, the era, in 1970, what was there? The 1990, what was there? In 2000, how it is going to change? And 220, how it is taken. And the faster, better, smarter. If we use the technology, it was faster only, then better only, faster, better, and cheaper. But now it is a faster, better, and smarter. And that is why we need what type of learner now? What type of learner? Whole brain learner. And that's why the brain-based learning. Every teacher should understand how the brain is learning, how my student's brain is acquiring the skills, and acquiring the concepts. And for that purpose, there will be another session. Sometimes the Amar will arrange. At that time, we will talk about it. But now the accelerated learning means it is not constant. We have to always change and be ready give the response to the what type of new things are coming, understood the things, accept it, adopt it, practice it into the classroom so that your student will be great in the globe. And for that purpose, you have to work very hard. So for you are imbibing, internalization of the basic things, interacting, interpreting, interest to be there, and innovate there. These are the 3 I's we have to take into consideration. So I'm not going to explain it benefits of Education 4.0. I had said that only one purpose is there. there are 4 things to be taken into consideration. We create knowledge, we store knowledge for the next generation, we disseminate knowledge in the classroom, and the online classroom or any way, whatever may be the knowledge existing, we have to deliver to the others to prepare a new generation. And the last one is the use that knowledge to create a wealth, so that you will become that wealth will be utilized to establish a social justice and create and establish a peace in this world, so that the quality of life of everyone living on the globe will be very high. And for that purpose, we need this education 4.0. Prepare for this thing. That's why I'm saying that the need of the hours. So our previous economy was agriculture economy, industrial economy, then knowledge economy. And now we are in the innovation economy. And for that purpose, I said that we bow a seed of a innovative approach in your own student, and that things you have to be adopt first as in the teacher's personality as a professional development. So there are the research. I'm skipping it, and see, you know that bread-based techniques. I'm not future of the e-learning. Everybody knows that modern enterprises. Yes, the vocational education. This is the one of the aspect of the new education policy. So occupation and sector screening, media competencies, and demand for skilled workers with the marketplace or tomorrow's industry will be needed, and what will be the analyzing the skill gaps. According to that, we have to teach them. So complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management or human resource management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, serving orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. These are the skills which the professionally needed, and we have to be prepared for this purpose. So these are the key skills. Complex. Just now I talked with you, and you can explore it with other literature or other any channel or websites. You can visit and explore this detailed on. I'm only exploring what is actually there. The knowledge of the degree discipline, the practical and psychomotor skill, interpersonal skills and social responsibility, ethics and professionalism, communication and leadership skills, analytic and critical thinking, lifelong learning and information management, management skills, and entrepreneur characteristics to be inculcated in the CE. So why we need only a people are thinking about that. How should will we get a job? But no, you should be job created. You should provide a job to the others. That type of approach to be taken by our new generation, and that's why entrepreneurship education is also taking place in a central place, so that one entrepreneur can provide job to the others. Not only he will serve the job, but he will provide the job provider. That's the great thing we have to think about it. So friends, these are the things we have to see we have to change the classroom walls, the future of education with additive manufacturing. The classroom walls we have to break. The learning places to be changed, which we are very important for this purpose. So Indian and global universities would recalibrate their strategy across all for education to remain relevant in the age of industry 5.0, which I am talking about. So these are the different area where we have to work on that. The teacher who is attentive teach without the inspiration, and you have to inspire to the others. That's the great. The inspiring teacher is a great teacher, and only knowledge delivery teacher is a secondary teacher. But the first teacher is the inspirer teacher who inspires their own students. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you, Amar. Thank you, Namri Madam. Thank you, NEHU, for giving me opportunity to interact with you. Friends, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your presentation is very comprehensive, and it speaks for itself, you know, and I hope Dr. Amar will provide these, you know, the opportunities for all the participants, for all of us to learn more from what has spoken just now. Now, thank you so much, sir, for all those valuable inputs that you have mentioned. And as you have rightly mentioned, this is the new perspective in education 4.0 is a new perspective education, which really we take the change in every you know, aspects of the teaching, of the role of the teacher. So now though Dr. Amar has mentioned that it is only between you and him, but I feel that I should say something, you know, being the chairperson, though I won't be doing much, because I don't want to dilute what
No, ma'am, you can take, ma'am, you can take. Just to motivate and to get more service from
the
sir, I told.
speakers have already explained very clearly about, you know, the different aspects. Yes, you know, coming to just a brief, you know, remarks. All the speakers have spoken that a teacher's role in the 21st century has critically changed. It has critically changed of being a pedagogue to that of being a facilitator. And teaching in this century is an altogether a new phenomenon. More so, the way we learn has also been revolutionized. So today learning happens everywhere on the go and can be customized according to one's style and preferences. Contemporary learners are undergoing rapid metamorphosis as they need to do, keep pace with the fast changing tech-savvy world, from black, green to white boards, pen to pen drive, smart student to smart boards. There had been a paradigm shift in the teaching techniques. Of course, there are logistically challenges that we need to overcome, but overall, it is a very positive and a very welcome change. The greatest challenges to digitalization, particularly in a country or in the rural areas, you know, particularly in the remote part of the country, like a region of ours that has a large rural population, is the lack of infrastructure. Also, people who have not been exposed to the technology thus far find it a bit difficult to change, to adapt to a digitized world. However, difficult as it might be, it is not possible or find it a bit difficult to adapt if it is not impossible. If we are making an effort, the goal of education is to impart practical knowledge to students in the most efficient way possible. Thus, teachers need to reimagine the very concept of learning. In the words of Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So the educator of today need to be curious, flexible, and forward-thinking. The role of a teacher increasingly emphasizes mediated learning. It needs to be all about empowering students with transferable skills for employability, growing digital citizenship, critical thinking, and creativity, as well as sustainable learning that will hold up to rapidly changing world and not just be limited to prescribed content that has been chosen for its past relevance. the NEP 2020 definitely aims at ways of relearning the students, relearning for students under the modern age of education, inclusive of teachers' well-being, by setting up the new high professional benchmark. Therefore, one would expect that professional development would be spread to cover diverse needs of teachers. I'm sure the 21 days of the program, in the 21 days of the program, the participants have been exposed to a variety of professionals and experts in different fields and have benefited, including me. But importantly, were the hand-on experiences that the participants had actively participated. And in today's discussion, today's presentation that we have had, Professor Sim had rightly mentioned about multiple intelligence, which was introduced by Howard Gardner. She had rightly mentioned that all along the emphasis was only on intelligence, intellectual intelligence, without due consideration about multiple intelligences. And what she has emphasized is with implementation of the multiple intelligences approach, it became the framework for teaching strategies. Practical classroom strategies are being used, particularly in countries like the USA and Canada, and research that have been conducted, particularly the two, she mentioned about the two major attitudes, which she mentioned about the cooperative efforts of the teacher and a tool for increasing motivation of the students. And by using the multiple intelligences, it decreases with the students, with behavior problems of the students. And cooperative learning combined with high thinking skills go hand in hand with the multiple intelligences. She also mentioned about multiple intelligence approach, which offers a solution to the behavior, the students' behavior, and improve test scores of students in their academic performance. The information is being presented in a variety of ways, and these can be used for, as a medium to reach students, not only the normal students, which has been taken care of, but also reaching the challenged students or inclusive students in the schools or in the colleges. This same concept can be taught in different ways. She had mentioned, which she talked about the brain research. She talked about application of all types of, the learning styles in the classroom teaching, and approach reaching students with different abilities or, with different challenges has a unique contribution to the repertoire of skills to solve problem and independent. And she also mentioned about the independence or the of all the multiple intelligences, and no two individuals have the same intellectual profile. Professor Panda, who is the honorary director of ICSSR, he mentioned very rightly about the importance and the role of the 21 days program that has been organized by by the Department of Education in collaboration with the colleges, MORAN College, Assam. He clearly mentioned about the benefits that all of us will, accrue through these 21 days. And most importantly, he mentioned about the development. The development, when we talk about development, it means the development of an individual, also the society. So development of extending the capacity of individual and how it has been expanding will also take a toll on the expansion or in the development of the society as a whole. And he talked about differentiate between the two, the extended capability of individual with examples, and also the capability, the community capability, where he mentioned that these are the conditions that has to be looked into, and we as the people who are involving in this program will take care, and we are benefiting a lot. Madam Professor S.M. Sumo, she talked about professional development of teachers, and she rightly mentioned about initially about mention about the continuous development. When we talk about professional development, we talk about the continuous development of the teachers in not only in the knowledge but also in the pedagogy, and the innovative practices are the challenges for implementation of the policies. As she rightly mentioned, this is a lifelong experiences that has to be looked into, where we have direct and indirect benefits to the students. It has to be renewed, and also implement the planning and practice, the collaboration, self-reflection. These are parts of the professional development of teacher, and it has to be a continuous. She also mentioned about the role of teacher education, which is very important in providing the mixture of teaching skills and also knowledge. Madam has mentioned about the development of knowledge, skills, and attitude, and she rightly emphasized upon the learning outcomes, which are being emphasized by NCERT at the school level, and now the UGC has really emphasized even at the higher education level, and these are to be taken care of with a serious note, so that it has to be looked into the pre-service and in-service, which should not only be theory-based, or it should not be ill-equipped. It should be able to fit to the current context and make sure to align to teachers, to empower them. And particularly, she had also mentioned about to empower master trainer to support the teachers. As a teacher are supporting the students, so master trainer also has to do the same thing. Coming to Professor Sanjeev Sonawen, I would like to just say a few things about it. I know that we have already had a very comprehensive presentation, but I have in a very simple word, I just want to mention that Education 4.0 should be able to replace the existing education system and pedagogy that lacks flexibility, and self-learning among students. A new approach focusing on students-centered learning will give students autonomy over the learning so that they can explore conceptual information pertaining to their curriculum to gain an in-depth understanding in addition to what is being taught by the teacher. Contemporary learners, as we mentioned, they need to keep pace with the fast tech-savvy world. And what steps should the government take to achieve uniform distribution of the education 4.0 across India? There are many steps. There are a number of steps which Sir has mentioned. And the most important thing that the government would have to do is, in order to ensure that education 4.0 become a pan-India phenomenon, what would be to create an infrastructure that can support this new system of education. This problem has plagued out the education system for a long time, especially in rural areas, and we need to come up with a solution for this. The government would also need to encourage the industry. Sir has very specifically mentioned about the industry to partake the education process so that the students can know about the skills they need to work in order to make a breakthrough in a certain industry. The success of education 4.0 would highly depend on the quality of scholars it produces. And once the students starts finding success, more people will start gravitating towards this new system of education. By focusing on the project-based learning that is aligned with the fourth industrial revolution, that is artificial intelligence, we can put practical skills to students that would actually be useful to them in navigating through their career. It is for this reason that even CBSE has introduced artificial intelligence as a separate course. Last but not the least, by utilizing the data and tracking students' performance, the school will be able to identify the students who have optimized their performance, as well as the ones who are striving with the syllabus. Subsequent change can then be brought in the learning strategies to better suit their needs. By achieving this level of efficiency, we would be able to encourage more students to become a part of this phenomena and hence untimely spread the reach of education 4.0 in the country. The first step, Sir has mentioned very rightly, is to innovate teaching practice. Education has to encourage innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. This becomes even more important given the fact that the fourth industrial revolution is just around the corner, and creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship are going to be some of the most desirable qualities in future candidates. Also, the present-day education system should be life-centric. Emphasis should be laid more on practical knowledge than on theoretical one. This could be achieved by encouraging project practical knowledge than on theoretical. And encourage project-based learning, competency-based learning creates more able and skilled candidates for the job market. We need to train teachers and students for a digital India by incorporating disruptive technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, which Sir has rightly mentioned, augmented reality, and also Internet of Things, and many more. Education imparted to children must instill global vision in them to enable them to seek decision-making global careers. We need to get out of our echo chamber and embrace the mega opportunities that exist outside our little posts. It is imperative that we take this step for the growth of the development of our nation. We need to create a system of imparting education that celebrate human imagination and ingenuity, which has been rightly mentioned earlier on. Let us walk towards a system where children can dance and sing if they want to. Instead of suppressing their natural talents, let us polish them to make them shine brighter. Let us open this door of perception. And then, as Blake mentioned, the possibilities are infinite. And every child is born an artist, but very few remain one as they grow. On paper, Education 4.0 does seem to cover a lot of loopholes in our existing education system. But it's like they say, nothing is perfect. Only after we start working with the new system would we come across flaws. But I believe those would be fixed much easily given the student-centric and flexible nature of 4.0. This is, just a bit that I just want to comment on the overall, the discussion that we have today. And for this, I think it is very important to be able to help the teachers or the students to cope up with technology. We can start up training centers in rural areas where we can expose these people to new technology to create a level of comfort. Not to mention, though it's going to take some hard work, we all know. So I know I've taken too much time, and I would like to really, I appreciate the efforts taken by Dr. Reddy and the coordinators, Dr. Kokoi, for making this program a big success. I also, with sincere gratitude to all the resource persons, particularly Professor Sanjeev Sonawin, who is here today, Professor S.M. Sungo, who had been taken to many classes in the 21 days, and all the the national and I cannot mention for all the dignitaries at the university level in our own university and outside the university, Professor Asi Patel from Baroda, who had been extending support and help to the department, and everyone for that matter. But particularly, I would like to express my thanks to all the participants whose patience when Dr. Amar tell us that he is organizing 21 days program, I just mentioned to him, who will attend your program 21 days? Who will have the time, to attend the program? And, how far can we motivate them to be there every day? But we could see the results that with all the comments that they have given, we feel that we are really fortunate that to have this 21 program, and our gratitude, sincere gratitude to Professor Panda, who had support and sponsor the program, and to everyone in the department, the faculty members who are always working hard to make the program success. But again, once again, Dr. Amar deserves a very special thank you for all the work that you have done. So I know time is up, and I request you to kindly give the vote of thanks, the formal vote of thanks to all the resource person and also the participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, as for your brief and well remarks of the chairperson. Now I want to listen one or two participants. I'm allowing participants, if they want to share, they can share before going to deliver. We'll finish within 10 minutes, not more than 4:45. Below 4:45 itself, please, you can fill those who are already filled feedback form. You can give the feedback, just one or two participants. No compulsion, just if you want to say something, you can say. Anyone, you are allowed to speak. Okay, I think you are busy with your presentation, submission of feedback form, right? Now, good afternoon to good evening to one and all. The 21-day international workshop from FDP, Innovative Techniques for Professional Development of Teachers in Higher Education, started on 1st September at 2 p.m. Professor Cherapat Prapandavidya, Silpakorn University, Thailand, inaugurated. Professor C. Nomri ma'am, our Dean, beside the function as a chairperson or president. Professor Ibdani CM ma'am, Head Department of Education, and Professor SM Singho ma'am is a keynote speaker, and Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir as a guest of honor, Professor R.C. Patel sir special guest, and Professor Brinda ma'am, and Dr. Mithali Kunwa ma'am, and Dr. Srotasini Gogoi, and myself, and along with all the participants, they joined. The first day, Ma'am Sungo ma'am delivered a wonderful keynote speech. She covered A to Z. I requested to inform about the personal, how to overcome personally, and how to balance both professional and personal. Ma'am is the psychological orientation of presentation, and with has more than 3 decades of teaching experience. Even Cherapat sir Prapandavidya is of 82 years, and young seniors scholar. Is the first person in Thailand who completed PhD in Sanskrit. So he is a mediator for all the scholars, those who reach Thailand from India. So I'm a sincere special thanks to the chief guest of the first inaugural day, Professor Cherapat Prapandavidyam, and Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir. Without his cooperation, the program is not able to organize. So we are chatting and talking every day, and Professor R.C. Patel sir is another extraordinary teacher, and just like Professor Sanjeev Soniavanya sir, their grandfather, father and grandfather, you can say, in the education field. Senior most, almost 40-50 years of teaching experience, the classroom management skills, and after delivering sir, it is better we can deliver some more. So showed interest, and I requested on day before, yesterday itself on the 20th, SAP presented one more on research tools. Here, addressed by the, maybe because of some unavoidable circumstances, here Mithali Kova ma'am is not able to attend, but the presidential address ma'am given nicely, and ma'am offered through, based on my request, the others, they delivered their lecture nicely. And Dr. Srotasini Gogoi ma'am did a vote of thanks in the first day. Second day session started with Dr. D. Jyoti, National Sanskrit University. I know ma'am since 2009. And Professor Chennai sir, my own guru at PG level, extraordinary teachers. Today also on the International Day of Peace, we organized one more international workshop in collaboration with MORAN and Sri Venkateswara University Philosophy Department. Professor Amit Kaur sir on the third day, people learning and professional development. Sir extra and nicely interacted with the participants, and I taken the digital capabilities. I moved from skill to competency, competency to capabilities. On the fourth day, Dr. K.S. Gupta sir, he attended today's valedictory function also. CQM Bangalore nicely interacted here on research orientation actually. And on 5th, Dr. Mrunalini Talla ma'am and Vishwanatha sir, IA here, RIE Mysore, Regional Institute of Education. On the NEP 2020, how the professional development and innovative approaches nicely explained. Even the PPT also, my government website, how nicely they provided about NEP 2020, Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji shared many things. On 6th September, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas sir, our own NEHU teacher of philosophy, he is a man of philosophy, but using technology very nicely and an international scholar, how to read for the emerging Zoom academia, nicely interacted. On 7th, Deepa Kauts ma'am, the best of Amit Kaut sir, the stress management. So she is an expert in stress management. She shared many things from United Nations and WHO, World Health Organization. And 8th September, again, Professor Chennai is a philosophical way of life. So right now we are busy schedule because of COVID-19 pandemic. It showed us what is the value of a family life, friends, everything. Earlier, we are not in a position to give importance to social life. Now, by making a social distance, what type of life you need, nicely explained. And on 9th September, Professor Uma Shankar on global competencies. Sir visited Cambridge University, Oxford University. He shared his village also, what type of power supply they have, how people are interacting, how to enhance competencies, how to sell yourself, your knowledge, all those things. Even one of the MOOC courses also is there, how to sell your expertise. On 10th September, Professor Nomri ma'am and myself, we are on mental health. You did hands-on activities. Ma'am is, I told that day also, community participation, always smiling, morning, just like R.C. Patel sir, morning house, ma'am comes in the same, before leaving also, she appears like that. We are grateful to you, ma'am. And 11th, Ananya Gogoi is the youngest, we motivated. Not only the senior teachers, even young teachers also. Social dimension. See, being a sociology teacher, but she touched many things. And social dimension, use of innovative techniques. And 12th September, Dr. Professor Paramita Das ma'am, Gauhati University History Department, she showed the digital museums, how to read digital tools, how to use to read the art, because culture is very important, playing a major role. That's why United Nations also global citizenship education, multicultural education initiated. On 13th September, here Dipima Bagahain, Jilin University, China, building and improving an academic profile. So your CV, curriculum vitae, your profile shows what type of scholar you are. So no need to tell by yourself. And Professor Brunda Brijli Karbi Rimbai ma'am, blended learning and professional development, she is expert of ICT. So she nicely explained about the role of, and mentioned UGC also issued policy note on blended learning. So it is our duty, if you are like or dislike, if you are ready or not ready, it is our duty to take the consideration of the policies made by the Ministry of Education and Government of India, Government of Meghalaya to move. Otherwise, at individual level, everyone is reluctant, but with the pressure, maybe senior teachers see, after listening Professor Sanjeev Sonewane lecture, Education 4.0, how advancedly sir is thinking. As others in general, we are thinking about beyond Education 4.0, but senior most teacher ready to learn many things. It shows the readiness and enthusiasm. On 14th September here, amongst Kebede, Ambo University, career skills and opportunities, even though that time some power problem, but we managed. Even UK is one website is there. You can visit. I already posted in my blog. Your children, your students, your scholars, your near and dears, they can test what type of skills they have and what type of job they are eligible. freejobalert.com providing all types of job information in a single website. And on 15th September, because of unavailability of ma'am Gayatri Goswami ma'am and Dr. and Professor Jayachandra Reddy sir, he asked to exchange the session on 18th. That's why I handled. On 16th September here, again, because of unavailability of Professor Renu Nanda ma'am from Jammu University, I handled and I completed 19 courses on research methodology. So I shared everything with the participants. On 17th September, Professor Sujata Srivastava ma'am, scientific writing. This is very, very interactive session, ma'am. Something different. She wants to talk, interact with the participants. She asked to unmute by the participants. And the same day, Professor Pandarisha Kadbuli ma'am, she is the right person because she is working at HRDC, NEHU. She knows the mindsets of the teachers, what type of professional ethics they have, what type of professional skills they have. We are sharing, and ma'am is, I am also delivering lecture there. And on 18th, Professor Sujata Srivastava again on oral presentation. She mentioned about the how, what type of impact it's showing the oral presentation along with the non-verbal and gesture. It is our duty to, along with the writing skills, scientific writing, oral presentation is also very important. Jayachandra Reddy sir, global research opportunities, because Southeast Asian Pacific Studies, we visited many countries. The participants also asked, sir, please ask sir to provide one more session lecture. So we'll try our best. And 19th, Dr. Dinesh Bhatia delivered on publication and professional development. He did a PhD within India, postdoc, USA and UK. He has an international network. He shared many things very nicely within a given time. And Dr. Abhijit Bhattacharya, project management skills. There is a person of management, how to manage project, what are the considerations are there, nicely explained. Yesterday, the 20th, Professor Jesse Kalita sir given an extraordinary presentation on, just like Professor Sanjeev Sonyavane sir, self-realization and quality education keys for national development. Whatever we are doing, this is the development of self at a individual level and national development and global development. Last resource here yesterday, Professor R.C. Patel sir again shared nicely, and I used SAR developed tool study habits for my PhD thesis. Today the valedictory session, again the chairperson Professor Nombri ma'am, and the chief guest Professor Sanjeev Sonyavane sir, special guest Professor S.M. Sungo ma'am, and guest of honor Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir. Actually, Brunda ma'am, because of some unavoidable circumstances, ma'am asked you can deliver. It is your program. Good. She motivated me. I am grateful to ma'am Brunda ma'am. Mithali Kaur ma'am, even though she is not able to attend, but she is keep in touch through phone and WhatsApp. I'm getting even some of teachers, they asked why you are selecting only Moran College. Whenever you are going to work with collaborative work, you need a good mindset and understanding, cooperation, collaboration. I'm getting 100% cooperation from the college. Not only Dr. Swatasini Gogoi ma'am, I know their IQAC coordinator, Bhartakur sir, Dr. Physics, and Hajarika sir, many other teachers. I'm visiting regularly all over India and especially Assam. Whole Assam I visited as a resource person. Whatever I have, even inaugural address, Professor Bhagirathi Panda sir told it is our duty to share whatever we have. Even Sanjeev Sonyavane sir is encouraging me to deliver lecture at HRDC. Pune University is one of the best HRDCs. Sir is the in charge director. We have FIP faculty induction program and other short-term courses, RC, OP. Sir is asking to ICT-based assessment tools. So I learned many things while delivering. Why I'm telling always all these things? While giving lecture, while delivering lecture, you can learn many things. 95% you can remember after 2 weeks also, instead of reading only 10%. So these type of things. So everything, my special thanks to each and everyone we implemented here. Professor Prabhashankar Shukla sir, Vice Chancellor, is continuously motivating, wonderful Vice Chancellor. I worked with under 4 Vice Chancellors, but sir, within 45 days, sir is the best Vice Chancellor, the youngest Vice Chancellor, just like Professor A.N. Roy, former Vice Chancellor. We are going to issue now, already we issued 1 September to 7 September 1 week certificate, 8th September to 14 September 1 week certificate, and 1st September to 14 September 2 week certificate. So today night, those who are attended 21 days, I'm going to issue immediately. But some of participants have, because of technical reason, other things, they're unable to attend 21 days, 1 or 2 days absent. For them, we organized one mornings, one program. We will consider your attendance, but we need, because another 10 days, my dates were filled. I'm not able to spend time to do your work. But on 10th October, already I fixed Sunday, I will finish all. Don't worry, those who are eligible, we are ready to help. Our department is also ready to help. But those who are not eligible, we are sorry, we will invite you again. And learning never stops. It is our duty to learn. Lifelong learning, e-learning, online learning, digital learning, blended learning, flipped learning, synchronous, asynchronous, ubiquitous, any type. So only way to enhance your professional development, my only mantra is, ma'am rightly told, unlearn, relearn, learn, relearn, unlearn. So 21st century mantra. So whatever you are learning, share. That's why 7S model of learning and teaching. And last but not least, whole NEHU non-teaching staff and even internet here. I'm sitting right now in the engineering department because of our Mahato sir, doctor, and my friends and participants. Thank you one and all. My special thanks to Dr. Shrutosini Gogoi for continuous support and bringing for international resource persons. Without her support, it is not possible for me. She is also equal credit along with me. Thank you, and see you again. Now I am requesting Professor C. Nombri ma'am to declare the program over.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amar, for that very nice and well composed vote of thanks. And once again, we thank each and everyone who had been able to attend the program all the 21 days. A big congratulations to all of you. And though we have gone beyond time today, but I know the last day, has to be like this, because from tomorrow we will not meet again. Okay, so with the request of Dr. Reddy and Dr. Kokoi, I declare this program closed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.